What's up, YouTube? Today we're going to be doing an evaluation on Foster's Australian Lager.
Yeah. And here's my 25.4 ounce can. And this is a new design. I guess it's just for summer. You got the old design. Oh, look who it is. Now, before we get started, Keone, can I say something?
Yeah.
Now look at this guy. Here's this guy. This guy decided he's going to have a war with somebody on the internet. And when I got the alert, I said, no, no, no. It's like somebody about to press the atom bomb button. Wait a minute. So I said, Chris, don't do this. Louisiana Beer Reviews is trying to help you. And John Sharon at Zone 1 said, don't do this. We want to help you. You don't know what you're getting into. But then our friends in the 40-ounce crew drinking community said, do it, baby. So next time Louisiana Beer Reviews gives you advice, you got to listen to Louisiana Beer Reviews because we're trying to help you out, baby. Now, here's your chance, live on air. And let's not say bad things about, I mean, I'm not saying anything bad about the 40-ounce crew because I can tap a 40 like anybody else. I can ring a 40. I can ring a 40. You heard me, you heard me, you heard me. So,
Yep.
you know what I'm talking about? But here is your chance, Mr. Chris. And I'm not naming his last name, my friends. But here's your here's your chance, Mr. Chris, to make amends to a fellow beer reviewer.
Well, Jay, all I gotta say is I should have listened to your advice and not tried to tackle Dave because there's no point in it. No point at all. All it's gonna do is start a war on YouTube, and it's never gonna end. It's gonna be a soap opera. So, Jay, I'm apologizing to you, and hope to be a part of your channel from now on. And Dave, no hard feelings, man.
And let me help you out a little bit, Dave. I
apologize.
That's better. All right. You see, we can always make peace instead of war.
Yep.
All right. Now we're going to drink beer. But this is Keone's channel, and I'm not running this, so I'm going to shut up. But I'm going to be very concerned that this is going to spill everywhere.
It had a big head, but it died down.
Hold on. I'll be back. It always spills. These things always spill.
Yep. Mine was leaking over the side.
Pretty excellent beer.
Yeah. I like both this one and the green one, to be honest.
I like the malt taste in here. It's pretty smooth.
What I like the most about Foster's is like the, well, I don't know about this one, but the green one, it's like very bitter. Not like arrogant bastard bitter, but very crisp and bitter.
Yeah. Yeah, crisp and clean. Be better than a Budweiser.
It's like Australia's answer to Budweiser, I've always said.
The worldwide manufacturer of this beer is SAB Miller. It was introduced in 1889.
I didn't know this was a Miller product. I thought it was solely imported from Australia.
No.
In Europe, it's Heineken International.
Oh, wow.
Who handles it? I'm looking on the Foster's website right now. Oh, and by the way, I've never poured one of these 25 ounces that didn't spill everywhere. And the reason they spill is they fill them to the very top. If you notice that. So as soon as you open it, it's trying to spill. So as soon as you tip it, there's no air, right? So it's just going to be water. I mean, liquid going everywhere. So it's really irritating.
Yeah. It says in the back of my can, it says, under the supervision of Australia, Melbourne, Australia, and then also Albany, Georgia, and Fort Worth, Texas.
Yeah, let me give you a little rundown on that if you like.
Yeah.
You see, William and I'm looking at their website. There's two guys, William and Ralph Foster, all right?
Yeah.
They created Foster's in 1887. They were from England, but they moved to Australia because that's how Australia started. It was a bunch of English and other British people moving there, right? Then it got big, you know, it started to grow, and it merged with Carlton United Breweries. In Australia, it's called CUB.
Yeah.
Okay. In 1972, 43 years ago, they started to import it to the United States in these big cans. Americans said it looked like oil cans. Now, they don't sell oil cans anymore, but they used to sell these big oil cans of motor oil, quarts. And then they went to plastic bottles, you know, in the 1980s or 90s. But so that became kind of like a legendary thing to have them in these, what they call oil cans.
Yeah.
Foster's liked it so much that they started calling it oil cans. Now, I got some more information, but you can keep talking, but I can give you some more information.
All I gotta say about it is, it's not far from a Budweiser in the fact that it's crisp. It's really mild, but it's also malty, hot bitterness. I mean, if you're the standard average beer drinker, but you're looking for something that's imported, there you go.
Now here's the story. More of the story.
Mm-hmm.
They use a special type of hops that are called Pride of Ringwood hops, and they're only grown in 2 parts of Australia. It's a company called Hop Products Australia, which is probably owned by SAB Miller. They have a hop farm in Bushy Park, Tasmania, which is an island state.
Yeah.
You've probably seen that island south of Australia.
Mm-hmm.
And Ovens River, Victoria, which is at the bottom of Australia. And by Ellerslie Hop Estates in Miari. Okay, so 3 places in Australia. Now it says, unlike other beers, these hops are added at the end of the brewing process to preserve their freshness.
Mm-hmm.
I guess that would be dry hopping these hops, and they're also using an exclusive Foster's yeast. They use a special yeast.
Yeah.
It says the secret yeast doesn't produce sulfur harshness that other beers can exhibit, which means that Foster's taste is never skunky and is always Australian.
I've never had a skunk Foster's, and I've had Foster's for years. Mostly because it never comes in a clear bottle, though. That could be part of it.
Right, it's only in the brown bottles or the cans.
I've never even seen it in to be honest, I've never seen it in bottles, period. I've only seen it in cans.
There's
Yeah, me either.
Yeah.
there are a handful of stores in New Orleans that sell 6-packs of Foster's.
I'll have to
The
look into
bottles
that.
are nice because the bottles have Foster's like in the glass.
Oh, nice.
In fact, I'll go get a bottle in a minute. Well, Foster started getting like really popular in America, right? So they started, instead of importing it all the way from Australia, and you know it's going to go stale, it's going to get a lot of age on a ship all the way from Australia, right? So they decided to start brewing it in Canada, and like they say, under the supervision of Foster. So they were making sure that they were doing it the way it's supposed to be done. Now, SAB Miller got so big that they bought Carlton United Breweries about 4 years ago. They bought the company. So now when they say Miller brews it under supervision of Foster's, what they really mean is Miller brews it under the supervision of themselves.
Yeah.
And they brew it in Fort Worth, Texas. Yeah, they brewed it in Fort Worth, Texas, and in Albany, Georgia. But it's an Australian recipe, but it is made in America now. It's made all over the world. It's made all over the world, but according to the recipe. And I guess they ship the yeast and the hops out to wherever they're brewing it, you know.
I don't know if this is true, but you notice how the cans are oil cans? I heard a rumor from some guy where you go and order a beer. In Australia, they don't know nothing about a small beer. They'll come down and put a gallon or like a boot right in front of you.
Yeah, that's mostly true. If you look on the Foster's website, or even better, the Carlton United Breweries website, they show Foster's in the big old can, and in the huge bottle, it's like a liter bottle. You know, it's like.
Which says a lot about the Australian people. It says they can handle their drink.
Yeah. Now, Australia was started by prisoners what happened was England, when they started Australia back over 200 years ago, they decided they could just ship a lot of prisoners there and make it like a, I mean, where are they going to escape to, right? So they made it like a prison country. And then as time went on, more and more people just started moving there. They would let prisoners go free after their term was up. They said, well, they liked it in Australia, so they stayed. But the kind of people that settled Australia were sort of like the rough and tumble, kind of tough people, you know? Not exactly the elite of British society. So they were kind of a hard drinking, kind of rough and tumble type people. So if you get into it with them at a bar, there's definitely going to be a fight. So they're big time into drinking, you know, pretty heavily.
It's the same with Ireland and Germany and places like that too. Like between Australia and Europe, they consume. I was watching a video online of like how much like barrels of beer a day people consume in Europe and Australia, and the numbers were incredibly high. It's nuts.
Yeah, especially the Czech Republic, Czechia.
Yeah, it was like one of the highest on there.
Now, you know what's really odd, y'all? When Foster started to become so popular in America around 1986 or 1990, and now everybody knows Foster's in America, right? It's on TV all the time with commercials, and you see it in any store you go into around here. They got the oil cans, right? So
most places in Michigan, I've seen Foster's blue and green oil cans. It's all over the place.
But at the same time, it started dying out in Australia.
Yep.
So it became like the garbage brand of Carlton United Breweries. It became like Schlitz of America, you know, where like barely anybody carried it. People would talk bad about it, and nobody would be caught drinking it because they'd be ashamed of it. And I told my Australian friends, I said, isn't it odd that in America everybody's impression is that Foster is Australia's #1 beer? Like if you get off the airplane in Australia, they're going to hand you a Foster's. He said it's so different. It's like everybody laughs at Foster's, but he said it's starting to make a comeback now because it's like a throwback brand, you know, that their grandfathers used to drink. So now it's like
it's becoming a hipster thing, just like Pabst.
Yeah, it's like It's becoming like the Pabst. Plus, they got Miller backing them up with all that money. See, so they're pumping that money in.
Well, I agree. People can do what they want to do, but I just think hipsters are annoying. I really do.
Hey, they might be annoying, but I bet you Pabst is glad they exist.
Yeah, because that Pabst is making money off of them. It's the whole thing with dollars. Yeah.
Now, Keone, you've had this a lot?
Had it a good few times.
Hey, I'm going to go get some more of it, and I'm going to bring that bottle to show y'all, and then I'm going to read what Carlton United says about Foster's, and y'all tell me if they're correct in their description.
Yeah, this sure is a refreshing beer, though. Damn.
Yeah, it's excellent. I wish it would come in 6-packs.
Working all day, this is the perfect beer to drink after you just got off an 8-hour shift in the sun. Perfect beer.
Yeah.
I could probably session a few of these at what is this? Is under 5%, isn't it?
4 point. No, it's 5. Yeah, we have the American.
It's exactly 5.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing the green is a little bit more than 5.
Yeah, I'm unsure. I didn't look that one up, but I'm thinking so.
Green would be more like ale.
Yeah. Now the green beer, that's an interesting one. Apparently, it's been around for a long time, and it was called Foster's Premium Bitter. And when Miller sold it at first, Miller was calling it Foster's Premium Bitter. I remember, but we never could get it right. So I think they changed the name to Foster's Ale over here because people were thinking, I ain't drinking that, it's going to be too bitter, you know?
Yeah.
It's bitter, but nothing like you would think just from reading the name.
So, is the green got more alcohol than the blue one?
Yeah. The blue one is 4.9 in Europe and Australia, and it's 5% here.
I always get them confused because I drink both of them, you know, and it's just like,
Yeah, the green label is 5.5.
Okay.
Ale.
So it'd be in between a malt liquor and ice beer territory, kind of like.
Yeah, like Ice House, like
Yeah.
Ice House or Bud Ice.
Mhm.
They add caramel color to it to make it look darker, even though it probably would be just as.
Yeah. The green was the first. The green was the first Foster's I tried. This was the second.
I saw somebody had put a photo of it on the internet, an old bottle of Foster's Premium Bitter, a bottle. Boy, I'd love to get a bottle. Now here's.
Oh wow.
Wow.
Yeah, I've never seen them in bottles. I didn't even know bottles existed. Foster's.
I'd like to have that cap.
I thought it was just oil cans. I'd probably have to travel to that like amazing beer store in Lansing to find that.
That's pretty nice. I wish they would sell that in 6-packs like that everywhere.
Yeah, and look at the glass.
Oh yeah, it's engraved
pretty
with
cool.
the Foster's F logo.
Yeah, and it's only like $6.99 a 6-pack, man.
Yeah. There's an amazing beer store in Lansing that boasts it has almost everything. Lansing, the capital of Michigan. I bet you if I were to find that anywhere, it'd be there.
Probably so.
Yeah.
It's interesting, man, because if you look on this company's website,
Mhm.
they have so many beer brands that they produce that we can't even dream of getting. But this is what they say about Foster's from the Australian website. It says, crisp bitterness
Yep.
in tandem, that means going along with a subtle fruit ester aroma from our unique yeast.
I was going to mention it, but I did taste a little bit of fruit, but I didn't want to mention it just in case I sounded stupid. Yeah. Kind of has like apple juice aftertaste or something like that.
Yeah.
I'm getting it.
So that's what I'm tasting.
Yeah,
It's
kind of like
just cut apples.
with I don't know if you guys get this, but if you ever drank King Cobra malt liquor, up until
Yeah.
recently I started tasting apple juice in King Cobra, like a weird aftertaste in it.
But out of curiosity, I went and looked it up on Google what the original ale can look like, the green can, and there you go.
Wait a second.
The bitter ale.
Oh wow!
Let me see.
Okay.
Uh,
So that was what it was originally called.
Yeah, yeah, right. Foster's Premium Bitter. They used to make it in America, boy, but I never could find the cans.
Yeah.
Get on YouTube, you look at the old Foster's television commercials from like 45 years ago. They were pretty nice, man. They used to have some really sharp. Those commercials make you want to drink the beer so bad. Here's what they say on the Foster's main website. It says, bright golden color sits beneath a creamy foam head. A moderate aroma with a full malty character, and that's what Chris talked about, the malty character.
Yeah.
It says a refreshing beer drinking experience with a crisp, clean hop finish. And I always pick up the hoppy bitterness in the end of it.
Yeah. The prominent thing in Foster's is crisp and bitterness. That's the main thing. The malt is just somewhat there.
It almost sort of in a way tastes like almost like a citrusy hops. It kind of has like that kind of citrusy bitterness. It doesn't quite taste like grassy hops.
I agree with that.
Yeah, these Australian hops really make it a little bit different. I don't think Foster's is. Now, some people tell me, Foster's, it's just a regular old beer. It's like anything else. I tell them, no way.
Yeah, I think this is an excellent beer. I'd give this an A+, hands down. I think it's a good beer.
Well, I'd like somebody to tell me what's wrong with it.
And you can't find nothing wrong with it.
If you're drinking a beer and it's all good
Mm-hmm.
and there's nothing bad, how you going to give it a bad score, right? Like
Like rate beer, they'll just give any macro a bad score. You know, if you were to, I think I remember John Sharon saying something about this, but if you were to take a beer that Rate Beer said was a bad beer, you were to put it in a keg and didn't label what the beer was, and let all those snobs sit in a room and drink it, they'd be like, oh, this is a good beer, this is a good beer. What is this beer? And then you tell them what it is, and it's that beer they've been bashing all this time.
Yeah. I think there's a lot of truth to that. Now, do
Yeah.
they make bad beers in this world? Oh, yes. I'm looking at
Earthquake, Dog Bite, you name it.
Yeah, there's a lot of bad beers. But most of the beers I review, I always give them a good rating, just on the count. They all taste good. I just love beer. Wow, what kind of beer is that?
I ain't going to give this a good rating.
Name tag.
This comes from Trader Joe's.
Oh, I've seen that before. I've never had it, but I've seen it before.
Now, you know, Trader Joe's has some really good stuff, right?
Yeah.
I mean, really good stuff. I need to go back there in the next month. You know, I'll tell you what, I'm just going to go stop by there when I go to Baton Rouge for an LSU game. But then they got these other beers, like Name Tag, which is $2.99 for a 6-pack.
Yeah.
Wow.
Hey, well, that's about $2 too much. I'm telling you, you get halfway through the can,
You know it must be bad.
you get halfway through the can, you start gritting your teeth, and you're like, oh, man, how am I going to finish this 6-pack? It is so unpleasant to drink.
I drank a Dog Bite 2 days ago, knowing it tastes like crap.
Oh,
But
no.
the only reason I did it is because I couldn't get it in my area. So I figured might as well just say buck up and drink it. I drank that whole thing down. You know what it tasted like? Malt and nail polish remover. That's
Yeah,
what
that's like saying, well, there's this certain disease that I can only catch in Africa, so I'm going to Africa and I'm going to catch that disease. I don't know.
and
That's
that's pretty much what it was like. It was like drinking a disease. That's how bad it was.
Wow.
It's horrible. It's garbage. And then somebody told me, they said, you better watch it because if you give bad ratings to beers, the company could sue you. I said, let me tell you something.
I say Steel Reserve tastes bad, but in all honesty, I would rather drink Steel Reserve before I drink Dog Bite.
If a company sued me for saying that Earthquake High Gravity was bad, or Camo, that's the one I was ripping on, Camo.
Camel's even worse than
Camo
Earthquake.
Black Ice. I said all I would have to do is bring in a cold can of Camo and tell the judge, Your Honor, take some of this beer and drink it. He would drink a few ounces and say, case dismissed. Get out of my courtroom.
I'm not gonna mention any names, but part of the initiation for one of the malt liquor communities, a girl had to chug an entire 24 ounce of Camel Black Ice. That was her initiation. She's like, "Oh, how bad can it be? I drank Steel Reserve 8.1. Halfway through that down, and she couldn't even finish half of it. She was running to the bathroom puking."
Yeah, I wouldn't want to be in that club. You know, they want to stop street gangs in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
Forget prison. All they got to do is make them all drink Camo, and they would have no more gangs because they would be like, man, I'm breaking away from this set. I don't care what happens. I don't care what happens. I don't care about Pyru. I don't care. I ain't doing no more clown walk. I'm out of here. If I got to drink this, I'm a join a church and start a youth group. They would never.
A lot of them gangs like their 40s, but they don't like that Earthquake Camel bullshit.
Oh, no, I mean, yeah, because they're drinking like Schlitz
I
Red.
think gangs they're drinking, most of the gangs I've seen are drinking Old E or St. Ides.
Yeah, or something like this. So it's like, okay, yeah, well, you're not that gangster.
Red Bull. I want to try that.
LA was built on St. Ides and Old E. It was like the two popular brands in the West Coast.
Oh, Red Bull.
Yeah, Red Bull too.
Yeah, I want to drink that, man. That looks good. I like the Blue Bull. That was really good. I really enjoyed that.
I bought this 40 ounce of Red Bull when I was in Detroit, Michigan last year.
Yeah.
And people were like, you don't know about the gangster life. I was like, man, I walked around Detroit for half a day. So I even made a video where I was on the street in Detroit with my whole trunk full of stuff. So I don't really think people need to tell me where I didn't go. But
I finally found Schlitz Blue Bull.
oh man,
I found it.
We all do a video.
It's in the worst possible place you could ever go in Michigan. It's on East Flint. It's in East Flint.
I can buy it in a pretty nice area, but
Yeah.
I forgot to buy it today. You know what happened? I was going to church. That's right. Something people I say ought to do, but that's it. That's all I'm going to
I
say.
believe in God. I don't go to church, but I do believe in God. I'm not a non-God believer.
Well, that's step one. We're going to get you on step two later. But anyway, I was going to Mass in Metairie, Louisiana, which is a suburb of New Orleans. I was heading down this highway that's right by my house, because this highway by my house runs from New Orleans to Canada, actually. But anyway, I said, oh, yeah, I need to stop and get this Schlitz Blue Bull for the examination with Keone and Chris and all them other guys.
Yeah.
But I said, no, I don't want to sit in this 100-degree heat. I'm going to go to Mass, and then I'm going to stop and get these Mexican beers, and then I'm going to get it on the way back. Guess what happened?
Sold out.
No, when I went, remember I told you the story, when I went to the store right close to the church, they didn't have the Mexican beer, so I had to go across to the other side of town close to Lake Pontchartrain, and I bought the 3 quarts, and I came home, and I never passed by that store again. But I'll pick up some Schlitz Blue Bull, but it is about 15 miles away. They don't sell it in my parish anymore. I know where y'all live. Y'all have counties. We don't have counties in Louisiana.
Yep. I think that's so cool that your church actually sold beer. I didn't think church.
Wait a minute. What church? No church. Talking about.
When you said parish, ain't that part of the Catholic Church?
Wait. Louisiana doesn't have counties.
Okay.
We have parishes, which
Yeah.
comes from the Catholic Church, because what happened was, all right, I'll tell you this very quickly. And it's similar to California. When Louisiana wait a minute, what happened to Keone?
Oh, wow. That's never happened before. Oh, there he is.
Sorry. I accidentally hit a bad button.
It's all good, man.
All right, you left your own video call. All right, are you still on air?
Yeah.
First time somebody left their own video call. All right. Man, this beer really does have bitterness coming through. I'm telling you, man. If I was eating some fried fish or some fried shrimp with French fries and some coleslaw with some black pepper on it, this would pair so well. I'm telling you right now.
You were just reading my mind, because I was going to mention jumbo shrimp. You know that box of jumbo shrimp you can get at your grocery store? I was going to mention that.
I don't know if you guys are noticing this, but what I'm beginning to notice, because this beer is beginning to warm up now, I'm beginning to get kind of a cereal taste, kind of a sweet cereal taste on the palate. I'm not sure if you guys are getting that, but I wasn't getting it while it was ice cold, but now it's warming up.
No, because I put my can back in the fridge, okay? I put my can back in the fridge.
I can't speak for this one, but when I did the green, somebody told me that if you get the green one too cold, you can't taste its flavors. You got to let it warm up a little bit to taste its flavors. It's weird.
No, because with most ales,
Yeah.
I have the same problem.
Yeah.
ales,
Video.
with an ale, you want to get them a little bit warmer than a lager, okay?
Yeah.
Ales generally taste a little more flavorful when they're a little warmer. What I was saying was, okay, when Louisiana was started as a country or a colony in 1699, it was started by France. And then later on, France turned it over and gave it to Spain. They gave Louisiana to Spain. And then right around 1803, they decided to sell it to the United States. Okay, but France and Spain, the way they would set up their areas is they would divide it up according to church parishes, like you said, Catholic church parishes. And it sounds to me like you're Catholic or something. All right.
I used to be Catholic.
Okay, we're gonna work on that. All right. I'm a third-degree Knights of Columbus, so I have to help him with this. Okay, but anyway, I'm not a fourth-degree Knight though. But anyway, so like in my parish where I live, they built a church, and it was called St. John the Baptist. Down the river, they built St. Charles. A little further down the river, they built another church. So wherever the church was, they would just name we call a county after where the church. So that's how we got parishes, because it was named after all the churches, like West Feliciana Parish, East Feliciana. Yeah. Well, it used to just be Feliciana, named after Saint Feliciana, Saint Felicia, Saint
I swear I've heard these names before.
Saint Bernard. Yeah. If you go to any country that was started by Catholic people, like California, you go all over California, everything is Santa something, right?
All these names you mentioned are ringing a bell.
Because that's Saint, right? Santa Ana, that means Saint Anne. San Diego, Saint Diego. Los Angeles.
Huh? I went to the Immaculation of Mary and Lapeer, and then I went to St. Anne's. It's funny you mentioned that. I went to a church called St. Anne's. So, yeah.
Yeah. So that's the reason we have parishes in Louisiana.
Yeah.
And if you go to Alaska, they don't have parishes either. I mean counties. Alaska has, what do they call them in Alaska? Like boroughs or districts. They don't have counties. But all the other 48 states have counties.
No.
Which comes from England. And you've heard of a count like Count Dracula?
Yep.
Counties used to counties used to be little territories ruled by a count.
Mm-hmm.
Which is like a small-time ruler. Okay, well, that's getting off track, but it's not a bad thing to do. What do y'all think about Foster's? Keone, it's your channel. I'm dominating. I'm sorry, I've just been studying Foster's for years.
I'm gonna go and get one more out of the fridge. I stocked up on Foster's.
Yeah, I'm gonna go pour some more too. I think I need to pour some more.
What's up, YouTube? Check it out. It's excellent beer. I'll drink it anytime, anywhere. Definitely. If you don't like this beer, you must be kind of crazy, because it is smooth, crisp, and enjoyable. If you can drink a Budweiser, you can definitely drink this.
Yeah, I think people that say bad stuff about Foster, they must really hate beer, you know.
I know, right?
But don't worry, they got a lot of people that hate it. But, you know, it's like you said, they get on Rate Beer, Beer Advocate, they're beer snobs, so they're going to automatically hate it. But look, it's got a light body. It's like easy to drink. It's got a hoppy bitterness at the end.
Yeah.
Malty. You don't taste the corn at all. I know they use corn, but it's not. It doesn't taste like corn chips.
Yeah, very subtle.
Oh man, I could drink this stuff like water.
Yeah, I hate giving beers bad ratings. I always find a positive in them. I think the worst beer I had in the past month is the New Belgium Snapshot. To me, that tastes like lemon juice, kind of like vomit almost too.
I don't think I'd want to drink that. I thought the Snapshot was all right, but it was kind of New Belgium. A lot of their beers are a little dull.
Yeah, I kind of noticed that.
But I did like their Abbey Ale. Their Abbey Ale's got a lot of flavor. Of course, they add sugar to it, but
well, look at this foam.
You know it's. Oh man, that's what I mean. Foster's is right. It has a lot of foam, huh?
Mm-hmm. I poured it really fast though this time.
About a year ago, somebody told me, they said, "Hey, you must be pretty excited that New Belgium Brewing Company took your video for Abbey Ale and posted it on their website." And I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. So I looked on their website and I was like, there's my picture, and they have my video. They took my video and posted it on their website, which is pretty awesome.
Yeah.
But hey guys, I had a really good craft beer. Not to try to get too much off subject. At the Ballast Point Brewery, they had this beer called the Calm Before the Storm. I guess it was a coffee stout. Had really nice notes to it. Interestingly enough, though, it had a really subtle note, but it tasted like Oreo cookies, believe it or not. It was really sweet. It was very flavorful. I want to try to see if they have it bottled.
That's weird.
That's the one you did with Jake, right?
Huh?
That's the one you did with Jake, right?
No, I can't find that one anywhere in stores. It's only at the brewery. They get it right off the tap on draft.
When you said coffee stout, I just immediately thought of that review you did with Jake. My bad.
Oh, you mean with Kim?
Yeah, Kim.
That was Modern Times. Modern Times. That one tastes straight up like coffee. That one is a little too overpowering in the coffee department.
When is Kim going back? When is Kim going back to?
In a week or two, he has to go renew his visa. I think he's at pilot school right now. He wanted to come to the Foster's review.
Yeah.
And Ed, how did you meet him?
He lives right next door to me.
Yeah, he's been his neighbor for a while.
We did a bunch of videos. I'm just posting them slowly so then I don't overwhelm my subscribers.
Yeah, he sends Keone a bunch of like Korean beers and stuff like that, but he was too nervous till now to get on a video.
He seems like a pretty cool dude. Now,
yeah, he is.
He said over there in Korea they just love lagers like this. They just drink these light yellow fizzy beers, as people like to call them. They drink those like crazy, like OB beer. I know OB is like huge over there. Yeah. And Budweiser. He loves Budweiser.
Yeah, he said the top 3 beers, number 1 in his country is Cloud. Number 2 is the OB Golden Lager. Number 3 is Budweiser.
Wow.
Yeah, if you go to China, this is so comical, right? If you go to, like now, these days in America, it's like the cool thing to put down on Budweiser, right?
Yeah.
When I was a little kid, even when I was a teenager in high school, people would like literally bow down to Budweiser. Like, I'm talking about like serious beer drinkers. They would be like, Budweiser. They would be like, we have to have a moment of silence. You know, so
the beer.
Like, yeah, like if you would talk bad about Budweiser, you were like considered a really idiotic person.
Yeah.
I mean, like everybody. I mean, like, go back in a time machine to 1988, and everybody like revered Budweiser. It was like the great king of beers. Then, as the craft beer movement got big, which we're not against craft beer since we drink it all the time, it became like this cool thing to bash against Budweiser. And I think that goes back to this mindset of people always want to bash the man, the big company, right?
I know.
Want to fight for the little guy. So, but if you go to places like Korea or China, they're still like that. They like...
Yeah, Korea and China are nuts over Budweiser.
They're like, Budweiser, wow, I've hit the big time. And if you go look on the Budweiser of China website, they've got like 8 different Budweiser beers.
Like I said, my friend John, he said that's all they drink in Singapore. That's where he's from. That's all they drink in Singapore is Budweiser when they're not drinking their own beers, you know?
There's one interesting fact, though, about with South Korea that Kim told me is Budweiser is looked at as one of the best beers. He said there's a lot of brewers in South Korea that make beers, but he said they all taste like shit. So when you compare it to Budweiser, it makes Budweiser look like a craft beer.
Yeah, Budweiser's like the big time over there.
Wow. What was I going to say? Pabst Blue Ribbon in China is like considered like the great beer. There's like 5 or 6 different Pabst beers in China. Like there's one called Pabst General, which is like a military-looking beer. Looks like a military uniform.
That would be interesting to try.
Yeah, but we can't get them. There's a beer called Pabst, it's called Pabst 1844 beer, all right? It's in a tall brown bottle with a cork at the top with a blue ribbon on it, an actual silk ribbon.
Yeah.
And it's like $45 a bottle.
Wow.
Wow.
It's a serious beer. And it's making me think, you know, now let's go back to Foster's because, of course, we're way off track. Now,
yeah, it happens. It happens a lot.
Keone. I was looking on the Cub website, Carlton and United Breweries. They got this beer they make in Australia. It's called Crown Lager. It's sort of like the Foster's beer for people that got a lot of money. And their website is really interesting. People always tell me, what beer would you like to have if you went to Australia and you could have any Australian beer? I said Crown. Crown Lager is like the real expensive beer in Australia. It's not real strong or high alcohol, but it's probably, I don't know. If we bought it in America, it would probably be $10 or more a 6-pack, all right? But if you look on their website, they make it with like really expensive ingredients. I mean, like really expensive. It's not like they're cutting corners at all. What happened was back in 1950, like 1955 or something, Queen Elizabeth of England, who's also the Queen of Australia. A lot of people don't realize that Australia is still part of the Queen's area that she rules. But anyway, so like Canada too. So she goes to Australia on a visit, and they were so excited. They're like, oh, we would in America we'd be like, oh, who cares? But in Australia they were like, the Queen's coming, the Queen's coming. So to honor her visit, they invented this new beer. Foster's made this new beer called Crown Lager. And so when she was visiting at all the dinner parties, they served this beer. And so everybody was like, wow, this is really good. So they decided to start selling it. So that's the one I want to try, Crown Lager. They make Crown, and they make one called Crown Golden Ale.
I bet you if it came here, it'd be mighty expensive, though.
That sounds good. I want to try anything I can't try.
Yeah, I hear you on that, Keone.
You get on their website. It's really an awesome website to read. It says the newest beer is called Crown Golden Ale. It says Crown Golden Ale is their signature highest grade Australian barley. It's called CA1 barley. It's the highest grade barley you can get. In other words, if it was a steak, it would be prime rib.
Yep.
Wow.
An iconic Australian hop variety is called Galaxy.
Either that or New York rib.
So this is the beer you have when you're really trying to show off.
Yep.
Trying to make people think you have money. So I was like, man, that's my dream, to get Crown Lager or Crown Ale one day.
If there's anybody can do it, it's you, Jay. You've probably tackled almost every beer in this country.
Yeah, but not in Australia.
Yeah.
So, but Foster's,
that's for the next reviews. You got to start reviewing in other countries.
yeah, I can't get them. Hey, well, my opinion of Foster's Lager is I love it. I'm drinking it like mad right now. I'm so disappointed because this is all I've got left from that can, and I'd love to drink a whole bunch more, but of course I don't want to become an alcoholic. Now,
I can drink 2, but after 2,
what do y'all think about doing the ale soon?
I'm down.
I could do the ale. I could do the ale either Friday or Saturday of this upcoming week. So
I can't do it until at least tomorrow.
Yeah, I have a light buzz already. If I do the ale, I'll be good for today when it comes to all beer drinking.
Yeah, not to change the subject, but I got three cans of Foster's, and I got 2 Labatt Max ices.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a really good one.
Yeah. Somebody told me I couldn't find those in Michigan. Well, they were dead wrong. I finally found them.
If any of you guys want to do examination, I got a lot of beers we could examine.
All right, well, anytime y'all are ready for this one here,
Yeah.
I'm telling you right now, I cannot do it next weekend. But if you want to do it tomorrow or some other day this week, let me know. Here's Foster's Ale, and it keeps saying, I'm ready to be drunk. I want to be
Yeah, I
I'm down. I'll do it tomorrow. I'm
stocked up on the blue. I can't get the ale until Wine and Spirits opens back up because they're the ones that sell the ale. Yep.
So yeah, if you guys want to do even examinations on any of this, Lowride, New Belgium,
I can get that.
Light,
I can get that too.
that garbage.
Long Thin, Ballast Point,
Nope.
the lemon flavored Snapshot,
Nope.
the Blue Paddle Pilsner,
Maybe.
You're just over there stocked with
Ale, Scalpin.
Oh, yeah, I've had it. Awesome.
I know, I love that beer. or the Big Eye. I actually like the Big Eye. I think maybe a little more. It has a lot of flavor to it. It's a really good beer.
Okay, now before you shut this video off, y'all want to see a beer I'm going to do tomorrow? Now, I might not be on the internet tomorrow after I do this beer.
Yeah.
I might be in the hospital. Do you want to see what I'm about to do tomorrow?
I would
Yeah,
love
see
to
it.
see that.
Do it.
It must be a high alcohol beer.
Must be.
You're talking about the hospital.
I'm scared, y'all. I'm really scared. I'm 47 years old. I don't want to
I'm nervous now.
50. I want to at least live to 50, but I'm scared. And this is what I'm reviewing tomorrow. This was sent to me from Germany. It got torn up in the shipping right here, but this beer,
Is that wine?
this beer is very expensive.
Wow. The
Yeah,
bottle already looks beautiful to me.
It's,
I couldn't really read it. How much alcohol's in that?
well, I'm about to tell you. It's aged in wooden barrels, and it's a huge bottle. You can see how big this bottle is.
Looks like over a 24.
Oh, it's about the same size as a Foster's can, but it's
Really?
it's 12% alcohol.
Wow. Nice. That's basically wine right there. Technically.
Either that or earthquake.
It's an ice beer, man. This is no joke. This is an ice beer, and it's 12%.
Yeah.
Wow.
Sounds like earthquake, only fancier, because earthquake is 12%.
It's like Earthquake that you could actually drink without puking.
Yeah. I wouldn't recommend drinking the whole bottle though. I would save half of it.
Oh, it's going to take me hours and hours to drink it. It's got a ceramic top on it. This beer must have cost, I have the price list. He paid a fortune for these beers, and he mailed them to me for free.
Yeah,
All because he wanted me to drink them on air.
Yeah. I would savor it and keep the bottles too as a memento.
I'm scared. But hopefully it'll be a wonderful beer, because Earthquake High Gravity was literally, in my life, the only beer that ever made me vomit.
Wow.
But I think there's a few others that would have made me vomit, but I threw them out. Before that happened, I dumped them down the drain, like Super Brew 15% alcohol, frickin' what's the name of that trash? Oh, well, one made me feel sick for 2 days. For 2 days, my body hurt. And it's called 40 Street Legal. 40 Street Legal. Look it up.
Sounds deadly.
Nasty stuff.
Yeah.
That is some nasty stuff. And I felt
At it. Well, you say you're scared, but that's the whole point of reviewing beer, is to go beyond your borders and go to the unknown and try new things. That's the whole point of reviewing.
well, keep your eye out, because Monday you might see a video for this.
Yep.
And I'm very frightened. But anyway, Keone, thank you for coming up with this idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, no problem. So tomorrow we might be able to do the ale?
If I'm alive.
Cheers, man.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that video. I don't know, something about that bottle, it looks like it tastes elegant. It looks like a nice, fine wine, given the sticker and the shape of the bottle.
And this
Yeah,
will be the first,
tomorrow is Sunday, so I don't have to work, so I can be on YouTube all day watching your videos.
this will be the first video review for this beer in the world.
Ooh.
Well, I got that ale in the fridge, so hit me up if you want to tackle that.
All right. I'll definitely be down.
Cheers, Jay.
Cheers.
Till next time, YouTube.
All right,
Thanks
Chris.
for watching.
Later, folks.